All right, good Wednesday morning. It is good to have you with us on our First Alert 6 streaming as we start the day. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole, along with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord, who issued a First Alert 6 weather day, but has some good news as you're waking up this morning.
Yeah, we were thinking 2 rounds of storms, but we knew the first one would tell us a lot about how the rest of today would play out. So we had last night's storms move through, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, made a bit of a mess out there.
Yeah.
But it chewed up a lot of the energy, so I think we're pretty much done with any storms the rest of the day. Let me show you what I'm talking about here as we move through this. Now you'll notice here, got some clearing already taking place, so that's some good news, but I still don't think it's going to be perfectly sunny at any point today. We're at 68 degrees, and the thunderstorm complex of last night, that midnight to 1 a.m. time frame brought some strong winds, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds through the areas that dove in from the northwest. Well, this is what's left of it down here, and it's moving southeast and out pretty quickly. So some thunderstorms south of Auburn now towards Falls City, Rockport, Mound City, and it's moving southeast. First Alert radar shows quiet conditions in the metro right now, and nothing much to worry about on radar, I think, the rest of the day, because as that complex moved through, basically anywhere south of that is where all the energy is going to be. It's not going to be able to recover during the day, heat up and fire off new storms in our area anyway. It'll all stay down to the south, a 1 out of 5 on the scale. So after the next half hour, 45 minutes, we get that complex out of here, see how the morning drive kind of starts off. We'll pretty much cancel the First Alert weather day because the evening storms just aren't going to happen anymore, at least not in our area. 82 degrees for the high today. Lingering rain and a few storms to start. Storm threats move to the south, so we'll cancel that First Alert weather day like I mentioned as the morning storms are exiting. There's what's left of them, and you can see it will first alert you to how the day is going to play out from here on out. Near 70 degrees by 9. By noon, we're up into the upper 70s, and it looks like we'll top out into the lower 80s today. Now, there's still going to be some storms on the map late this evening, but let me show you where those would line up. Still nothing by 7. Still really nothing happening by 10. But you can see the first little ones there right in our southern counties, and I think anybody south of Plattsmouth could have 1 or 2 of these strengthen, and this might even be a little bit too far north. We'll see what happens when new model data comes in and it picks up on where the storms are right now. But I would expect maybe this to be even farther south than what models have through the overnight hours, and it would move south and out. So it should be a pretty quiet one. And you'll notice we should dip down into the upper 50s to start off Thursday morning, setting the stage for a cool one. Look at the muggy meter for tomorrow. Today it's up here. Tomorrow it's down in the Pleasant Range, folks. It is going to be a good day. And look where the temperatures go. 76 degrees for that high on Thursday. 83 and still pretty comfortable on Friday as well. Yeah. So that's a pretty good end of the week here when we took one whole chance of severe weather out of the equation too.
All right. I have the bad news, though.
Oh, no.
However, well, actually, you have the bad news. I'm just previewing it, which is going to be that the heat and humidity do return after Thursday.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the month of July we've had so far, and we're just a little bit below average temperature-wise. It hasn't been atrocious yet.
Oh, no.
We got humidity's there to back in play for the weekend. I'm not talking a huge heat wave for next week, but it does look like our first long stretch of consecutive 90-degree highs on the way. Not really this weekend, with some intermittent storm chances that don't amount to much, but it's something to watch. Starting Monday, we'll get up near 90, then a lot of 90s for highs next week. It could peak here around Wednesday with some of the hottest weather. A lot of humidity, too, and the telltale sign is this. Look at the overnight lows. When you have a lot of moisture in the air, you just can't cool down very well. And we're going to have a lot of mornings in the mid-70s that struggle to cool off very easily. And beyond that, it does look like warmer than average weather takes place all the way into the end of the month, the way things are looking right now. So with that, average high is about 88 this time of year, to give you a little perspective. So it doesn't take much to be above average and be in the 90s, and that's probably where we're going to be.
It's not terrible. No,
hopefully not
bad.
Too bad.
What is bad right now, we're talking about traffic. That closure on Farnham.
Yeah, it looks like that stretch is closed both east and westbound, and there's a lot of people trying to figure out how to get around it.
Yeah.
And there's other closures, too, around the Saddle Creek area as well with Farnham. I'm just going to say, don't take Farnham.
Yeah.
Go to Dodge. You're trying to go eastbound on Farnham. You're going to run into this stretch that's closed yesterday after the morning commute. And it's going to be closed for the next 2 weeks. 48th to 49th Street, right there in the heart of that, where the roads change directions they're going, whether it's the morning or the afternoon. You can see north and southbound 48, maybe some sensor issues there, but I think people are trying to figure out, oh boy, what do I do now? Yeah. And just avoid this altogether if you can. Another thing to watch for. Now, this is a look, I think this is out by Pleasantdale or the Milford area west of Lincoln. I show you this on the interstate system because there's construction, and we're being told that the interstate is shut down from I-180 on the north side of Lincoln all the way to Pleasantdale and maybe even beyond. And you can see the backups this is creating here because this may have been a police pursuit that ended in a crash, and they have a big scene to investigate. So everybody's being asked to exit right here at either I-880. I saw some people exiting at the airport exit too on some cameras. So if you're going westbound towards Lincoln, just know once you get to Lincoln, you can't go any farther on I-80, and I don't know how long that's going to last. So keep that in mind if that is where you're going there. It's all hinges on the police investigation. 680 southbound through 80 towards the Giles area, that's the slowdown we've had too, and that's all because of that construction we've had. So those are the big spots right now, but the big one is I-80 westbound, getting more and more info and figuring out just what that is. Yeah. It doesn't look like it's going to open anytime soon, and the backups are really stacking up on the interstate.
The big ones are really big this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, Rusty, thanks. Breaking overnight on this First Alert 6 weather day. Many of you actually waking up in the dark this morning. As of right now, as of last check, about 800 customers are without power. There was over 2,000 earlier this morning. We'll make sure to keep you posted on those outages as the numbers start to kind of dwindle down.
Yeah, making some progress there. Well, we are hearing from the family of 21-year-old Adriana Dolores Estrada. She was killed in a head-on collision crash on I-480.
It's just horrible. Police say Adriana was in a car with 4 others when a Ford pickup driving the wrong way crashed into the car nearly head-on. Estrada and 21-year-old Nicholas Humbert died at the scene. Her family says they're now trying to keep her memory alive.
But she'll be with us in spirit. She's still here. We heard her in the kitchen the other night. She said something, but I didn't know what she said. But she was here.
22-year-old Christian Stevens was charged with motor vehicle homicide DUI. He has a preliminary hearing set for August.
Well, I'm here at the safety desk with our Maria Kate, and with the summer heat, many say they're less hungry.
Yeah. Did you ever experience that?
I do eat more salads.
Okay, yeah, maybe a little bit of a different appetite
diet.
Experts say that weather, though, it does have a big impact on our appetites, and this is because of what's called a thermic effect with our food.
Okay.
So we're actually not as hungry in the heat because our bodies don't want to get overheated. But even if you're not as hungry, they say it's still important to have that balanced diet. Experts say to choose the most nutrient-dense foods as possible, things like fresh fruits and veggies in the summer. Okay. Also, still make sure you're getting enough protein. You can go for options that aren't as heavy. Things like eggs or Greek yogurt are great.
Even focusing on hydrating foods can be very helpful, like watermelon and lettuce and celery and cucumbers, cherries and citrus fruits and strawberries. So all of those foods can be very hydrating, in addition to, of course, increasing your fluid intake.
Like fresh fruits and veggies in the summer,
true.
right? Like you said, salads.
Yeah.
Some other good options too: cottage cheese, eggs, and then you want those lean meats, things like chicken, even fish too. Those can work as well.
Do you lose your appetite in the summer heat?
I don't think so.
I don't either. Why can't I be one of those people? All right, moving on now. We have an important recall, especially if you have kids. They may eat this kind of yogurt.
Yeah, really popular yogurt brand. It's Yo Crunch yogurt.
Okay.
And once you see the picture, I think you're going to know what it is. Officials say that plastic pieces could be found in the dome topper. The company says people could possibly choke on those pieces. Danone is recalling all flavors and sizes of its Yo Crunch products, and those have an expiration date between July and September of this year. So if you do have that yogurt, either throw it out, or you can also contact the company's consumer care line to get a refund too.
All right, good to know, Maria Cade, with some important information this morning. Thank you. We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back as we get started on this Wednesday morning. Time now 7:14, almost 7:15 now. A live look overlooking the Midtown and the downtown Omaha areas. Pretty noisy last night. Hope it didn't wake you up for too long, if it did at all. Let's talk about some of the rain totals that we got last night.
Yeah, some pretty impressive ones in the metro. I think an inch on average. Have seen some come a little bit above that. So that's some good news if you needed more rain. Let's show you where some of the spots with the heaviest amounts were. South of York here, this little complex and line of thunderstorms just kept redeveloping and brought some heavy rain totals between, obviously, the rain gauges, so we can't measure it, between Lincoln and Beatrice here. I imagine this is going to fill in a little bit more in the southeast corner of our viewing area as the rain that's out there right now moves through. But 9,500's officially at the airport, so just shy of an inch. Have had a couple reports on the west side of the city of a little above an inch, and you can see a lot of 1 inch plus, maybe some 2s somewhere in west central or western parts of our viewing area in eastern Nebraska. Now, there's some clouds out there. These are going to be tough to get rid of, but we're starting to dry out. 68 degrees at the moment, and things are looking pretty good for the rest of the day, to be honest with you. The first Alert 6 weather day likely to be canceled here very shortly as these storms move out this morning. They're going to leave muggy weather in its wake. But look at some of the storm reports we had from last night, and we can take you in here a little closer to the metro area anyway, and you'll notice on the north side of town, there was a couple reports, and this is likely what prompted one of the warnings last night. A 68-mile-per-hour gust from weather station. It ended up being closer to 60 at the airport, and some tree damage there on Blair High Road. And otherwise, it's a lot of small limbs and stuff down around, garbage cans, that sort of thing. So be mindful getting out of the neighborhood. You might have a few obstacles you encounter on your way out of your area. There's what's left of the storms. They're diving southeast. They're out of here. Almost out of the Auburn area, Falls City to Mound City, dealing with the last bits of those, including Rockport as well. Quiet on the radar in our area, and I just don't think we're going to be able to get the energy back here to recover and get more storms tonight. So what happens is this is where the severe weather risk area has shifted. It's down to the south now. Green 1 out of 5 through parts of Kansas and Missouri, just grazing our southern counties. So good news about the first alert weather day. Here, probably very shortly, we'll just cancel it and it'll be quiet for the rest of the day. There's what's left of the rain as it moves off towards the east and out of here. By noon, we're in the 70s, and then we'll continue to climb into the low 80s. Watch for this, though, tonight. If there are any storms that try to redevelop, this model's probably the farthest north, and there's nothing really to worry about north of about I-80 or even north of Plattsmouth and Lincoln, I'd say. A couple of storms try to get going south of those locations and may even be even farther south of this, and then they'll move south and out of here and down into Kansas and Missouri. That's why the bigger risk area will be there. Muggy meter tomorrow, nice little dip in the Pleasant range. That's the big story for tomorrow, with 76 for the high. And if there are any showers out there, you might get a couple early in the morning. Southern parts of the viewing area again, then we clear out and go to 76. A lot to look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, I love 70s this time of year, few and far between.
Yep.
And I guess we should let everybody know to enjoy this brief cool down because we're going to heat back up.
Humidity and heat coming back next week, and pretty strong signal that next week has a lot of warmth with it, and probably just the end of July. It's been cooler than average so far this month, and next week will remedy that pretty quickly. A lot of 90s for highs, including our back to school drive, but you stay in the air conditioned car, drop off your supplies at Shadow Lake Town Center, you'll be fine. Warmer than average weather all the way through the end of the month, and could be some big heat waves. Might be hearing about triple-digit heat down to the south, OKC, Texas area. So.
All right, Rusty, thank you. Well, the first place selling medical marijuana in Nebraska could end up being the Omaha Tribe of Nebraska. The Tribal Council is forming its own medical cannabis commission. The council can then begin issuing licenses. This means if you are a qualifying patient, you can go to the reservation and get medical cannabis even if you aren't a part of the tribe. Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana commended the Omaha Tribe for the move. Officials say they will not stop fighting until Nebraska implements the program voters demanded.
Happening today, Governor Jim Pillen and Attorney General Mike Hilgers will be making a major joint announcement. This will be streamed on Nebraska Public Media at 9 o'clock this morning. We don't yet know what this is about. We do promise to keep you updated on air and online as we know more.
Happening today, the remains of a Nebraska man are finally coming home after more than 80 years.
U.S. Army Private Irwin Shop of Plymouth served in World War II. He died as a prisoner of war in 1943. Historical records show Shop was buried in a common grave. In 2018, his remains were sent for testing. They were identified just this year. Funeral services for Shop are set for Friday. He will be buried in Plymouth. Still ahead, have you ever wanted to own a prop from your favorite movie?
I have to think about that one. Well, the legendary props up for sale when First Alert 6 streaming returns.
One of the coolest big screen weapons of all time is set to bring big bucks at an auction.
All right, Star Wars fans, I'm reading this. Brace yourselves. Darth Vader's lightsaber is going on the auction block. It's the actual prop used in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The pre-sale estimate, guess, $1 to $3 million.
Somebody's going to pay that.
Yeah, you know they are.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So other key items up for bid: Harrison Ford's bullwhip and belt from Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, and a neuralizer from Men in Black. Remember that, where they would just make their memory disappear? So the auction is in September. You can get more info at propstoreauction.com. I would like the Pink Lady's jacket from Greece.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be the cutest?
Where's all this
Yes.
stuff been this whole time? Just hanging out in like a closet or something?
You know, it's funny. This is like a little fun fact. You know, movies that were made a really long time ago, people who were on the movie sets, they didn't think to save props and sets.
I guess why would you at the time?
So a lot of it was just thrown out.
You never know how
Very
big the
sadly.
movie's going to be.
Oh, man. All right, the Iowa State Fair is set to return next month in Des Moines.
And we have this year's Best New Food finalists. They include the Bacon Chicken Ranch Egg Roll, Three Little Pigs, and the Scotcheroo Shake. Other new foods at this year's fair include bacon popcorn and a flamin' hot pickle pizza.
Hot pickle pizza.
Yeah, I say that many times fast. There's also several deep fried dessert options. Fairgoers can have over 60 new items to try. Don't have them all at once though, right? The fair goes from August 7th to the 17th.
They fry everything on a stick there, like Twinkies, butter, like whatever, candy bars.
Do you guys, like, off the top of your head, have a fair food that you're like, that was the best thing?
I mean, like funnel cakes are always a staple.
I love the pineapple whip.
Okay, there you go.
The Dole pineapple whip. Ooh.
So they
Technically,
march. Oh, sorry.
I said Dole Whip is actually technically
Well, I don't know if it's
trademarked.
Dole, but the pineapple whip. Pineapple whip. Anybody can make it. I love it.
They march all this stuff out, and a lot of the TV stations and media people in Des Moines get to try all this stuff.
Oh, lucky them.
Wow.
I'm kind of jealous.
Aw. Well, you know, we've got fruits. We can eat fruit, as Maria told us. Now's the time. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show.
All right, we'll see you then. Bye.
Live from WOWT, this is First Alert 6 Weather starts now.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
All right, I'm Erin Hartley. A lot to get to this morning as far as weather and traffic goes. We'll send it over to Rusty.
Yeah, let's get a look at that forecast here for today. It's still a first alert weather morning here for this complex of thunderstorms moving off towards the east and to the southeast. But things are improving quickly, and I think the rest of the day is going to be very quiet. So you can see thunderstorms down here, Auburn, Rockport towards Falls City and Mound City. Those are moving out, and now with all this using up the energy from last night, you can see a minimal 1 out of 5 risk area has been pressed well down to the south, as we just can't get the energy back here for storms later on tonight. So we're going to cancel the first alert day after this, and we're pretty much done with any storms the rest of the day with all that energy being pressed down to the south, or either that or used up. And you can see out across the area starting to clear out a little bit. We'll go to 82 degrees for the high this afternoon. I think we can build in a few more clouds, but overall still humid, cooler, but it looks like we're done with any storms for the rest of the day. Let's flip over to traffic. I want to show you a big issue westbound on the interstate. This is not in Omaha. This is as you get to Lincoln. They have it closed at I-880 on the north side of town all the way to Pleasantdale. There was a police pursuit, a crash, another pursuit, and an investigation going on. You can see the slowdowns here. You're being forced to exit right here at I-880, and you can see they have it all blocked off here, funneling everybody over towards the right side as you're going westbound. So if you have to wake up and do that this morning, you have that farther west, plus this headache still approaching Giles from the north on I-80 with all the construction still in place. Aaron?
The Omaha Tribe of Nebraska is forming its own medical cannabis commission. The tribe will start issuing licenses and working with grow operations, cultivation, manufacturing, and dispensing.
It is 7:28. We are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.